Kids don't forget.
Kids don't forget.
You kids don't forget.
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 Ayesha, how are you today?
Hi, it is Ayesha.
It's Ayesha.
Yes.
Okay, so your name was mispronounced growing up?
Yep, and I liked it.
Well, we're so happy that you're here.
Yes.
What are some of the things that you've gotten?
Name-wise?
Your name-wise, besides your actual name.
So if I'm working, I pick up a phone, I get Asia, Ayesha, Aisha, and of course Ayesha.
Right. So most people, when they do say your name, they say Ayesha.
Yes.
But it's actually, say it again?
Ayesha, like,
It's-
hey, Isha. Hey.
Okay.
So I think that's why when I was younger, I really didn't like it because people, and then nobody believed me. Till this day, no one believes my name is Ayesha.
Ayesha. It is
Yeah.
different
It
because
is.
most of the time it's Ayesha.
Yep, 1979.
Okay.
License magazine, author or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So your mom got it from the actual magazine.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. What were some of your nicknames growing up?
Just Yogi.
Yogi.
Yeah.
Like Yogi Bear.
Yeah.
Where did that come? I just make sure I'm saying Yogi.
Yes.
Right,
I think
Yogi.
that was my only, and I think people each dog, but I think everybody was a dog.
Okay.
then.
Right.
Yeah.
Back
So,
in the day.
but like technically, mostly Yogi. Yeah.
Okay. Do you know where Yogi came from?
Yes, it came from my birth name, Yolanda.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So it's not Ayesha, it's Yolanda.
It was for like 3 months, I think.
Okay.
So I do have a social security number with Yolanda. So that's where Yogi comes from. So my father got a 30 with an 18. Is that how I say it?
Okay.
30 years.
He got
18.
30 years with it.
8 do 18.
Right.
Or something like that. And my mom got mad.
Up for parole at 18,
Yeah.
right?
So my mom got mad and took Yolanda away and named me Ayesha. So he needed something. So he came up with Yogi.
Oh, okay. So your father named you Yolanda.
Right.
And your mom got mad when he got locked up and was
Right.
like, nah, it's not going to be
That's
her
too
name.
long. You're going to be going all her life. You ain't getting that.
Right,
So,
okay.
yeah, that's where Yogi comes from. So
Wow.
mainly my dad's side calls me Yogi. So all my cousins that I hang with, May, Kia, Reek, all them, that's my dad's side.
Oh,
So-
shout out to Makey and Reek.
So they all call me Yogi. So that's where it's mainly my dad's side that calls me Yogi in the streets.
Okay, got it. So you'll always be remembered for Yolanda, even though it's not your name, but it was your name.
Yeah, only my mom and Social Security. My dad. Yeah,
So
that's
question, where are you from?
Camden.
New Jersey?
Yes.
Okay. Do you claim a
I
specific
do
neighborhood?
not.
You don't.
I grew up in Parkside. I grew up in East Camden. More so Parkside.
Okay.
I grew up in Philly as well.
Okay.
But I'm just going to go with Camden.
Camden. Where in Philly did you grow up?
Southwest 59th and Springfield.
Okay.
Yes.
How would you describe your neighborhood growing up?
Which one?
Let's start with Camden. How would you? But all of them.
Okay,
So,
I mean-
and what were the differences? Like, what did you like about this neighborhood? What didn't you like? Go into
Right.
it.
So I say Parkside, I think was more, I don't know. It was more family oriented, I guess, because I guess the babysitter was on the block. Hey, nay, shiny mom.
Okay.
I think it was more family oriented in Parkside. I think East Camden, I was more hoodish.
Okay. Why so? What was different about East Camden than
East Camden, let's see, I used to fight every day. Well, I fought every day before. I used to cut crack. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Cut crack.
That's
I
what
used
you
to
did?
cut it.
In the hood? Okay.
Yeah, in the hood. And then I remember he didn't pay me. I had went up to, Moore Street, and I was like, you got to give me my money, and he didn't pay me, so I went back to where the stash was at, and I took my money, and I came back with swirls and new Timbs. I don't even think he knows to this day. I ain't going to say his name, because, but.
Right. Well, time out. If you was cutting and bagging, just like from movies and stuff, we see that those girls are normally like butt naked. Did you have to get like butt naked?
I wasn't in no crack house.
Oh.
I was like in my homie and my girlfriend's house.
Right.
And it was her dude. But we all cool. And,
Okay.
that's just what Yogi did. Laying on the floor with the glass plate and the razor.
So you were in that environment.
Yeah, we all were in that environment.
Right. Okay.
So I think East Camden was my more hoodish.
Okay, got
Parkside,
it.
I was like.
Got it.
And then Philly, I was just the cute little good girl. Nope.
Got it. Were you an only child?
No, I am the oldest on my mother's side. I have a sister and a brother. And on my father's side, I am the youngest. It's just me and my older brother.
So, what is the age gap between you and your youngest sibling?
The youngest, my brother. I think 6 years. And
All
then
right.
me and my sister are 3 years.
So perfect. So if you're 10 years old, you have a little brother who's 4,
Right.
a little sister who's 7,
Right.
and an older brother who is.
He would have been. So I think he's 45
Okay.
now. Right.
So if you're 10, he's 15.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's about around there.
Yeah.
Okay. Now
Y'all might know him because his son plays for LSU. Plays with Shaquille O'Neal's son.
who'd you grow up with out of those 3?
Mainly my sister.
Okay.
Yeah. my
Okay. What
sister.
was the relationship like with her? Like being the old. What was it like for you being the oldest?
I think I was the black sheep. I
Okay.
think my mom was so mad at my dad,
Mhm.
and then my sister and my brother have the same dad, so I kind of was always the.
Okay.
So I think I was the black sheep, in my opinion.
Right. That was your perception, and it might have been true. Like.
No, I felt like it was. 'Cause
Like
my sister
subconsciously, she might not even thought about it consciously, but subconsciously, her anger for what her dad did to her, who knows, you know?
Right. My dad.
Okay. Right.
dad.
Oh, my bad. I said her dad. Right. My bad.
Shit, her dad too. That stuff follow you.
Right. So then, because your dad got locked up when you were a baby, first of all, did he get out?
He did get out. He got out when I was pregnant with my youngest son. So
Oh,
I
so
think
you
I
were
was like-
grown.
yeah.
Okay. So during your childhood.
Remember, he was coming home when I was 18, but it got a couple
Right.
extra years. So he came home when I was probably 19 or 20.
Okay.
And I was already pregnant, working at welfare building. Yes, I was working there, like getting a paycheck, not welfare to work.
Right,
Nothing
right.
wrong with that.
Right. So
But-
you never actually lived with both parents ever?
No.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
no.
So I'm assuming, are we to assume that you live with your mom?
Some of my life, and then I voluntarily went with my grandmother. It wasn't like a court thing where I'm taking her. I wanted
Right.
to go with my grandmom when my mom decided she was going to Clementon.
Okay.
I'm not moving up there.
How old were you then?
I was in probably ninth. No, I came back in ninth. So probably 10th grade.
Okay, so you were like 15, 14, 15. Okay.
And we lived on Rarrington in East Camden.
And these came to right.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was your relationship like with your mom? And your dad, your parents, and then your grandma?
So me and my dad were close. We talked almost every day. He called every day.
What was his name?
Lawrence.
Shout out to Lawrence.
Yes.
Did everybody call him Lawrence, or was it like Larry or something? What would I call him? Mr. what?
Lawrence.
Mr. Lawrence,
He
okay.
probably wouldn't like the Mr. Like, nigga, don't call me no damn Lawrence. Mr. Lawrence.
Okay.
So I would talk to my dad. I would go see my dad at the prison a lot,
Right.
Trenton State. Then he got moved to Riverfront when that opened. So we we always had like family days at the prison. They not like that today anymore.
What was family day like?
Barbecues. You bring about 6 people with you. Have a little family day. Oh, it was ball. Had pictures.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So you knew where your dad was, but you saw and talked to him all the time.
Right.
Okay. Like 4 or 5 times a week.
Right. And then my grandma Barbara, which is his mother,
Okay.
would be the one to take me and my brother most of the time.
Okay, got it. Shout out to Grandma Barbara.
Bro, shout out, hey, grandma. Oh, she did.
So your relationship with your dad was cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. More so when he came home, because I feel like that institutionalized stuff is true.
Right.
And you come to realize that you can't change who he is. It became stressful at the beginning, like, oh, you home, let's do something different. But after a while, you just realize, oh, that's just who he is. And you just love him. Because I was to a point where I body slammed on top of a car on Jackson Street, out Pollock.
Okay.
Because he made me so mad. I think he was just like thinking, oh, you my daughter. No, I'm a you up out here.
Right.
So I like body slammed him on the car. He's like, oh my God. Oh my God. And then like, I loved them. I miss them so much. But, you know, eventually you just got to just love them for who they are.
Right. Because there's not much parenting he could do from.
Not even necessarily parenting. It was just like you wanted him to do better than what he did before.
Got
And
it.
because he was young, I think, I can't remember. I think he supposedly raped someone, a girl. And I think that's what the charges were, if I'm not mistaken.
Allegedly, right?
Right. I don't know what I mean, evidently it was something got all them years.
Okay. What was your relationship like with your mom?
Me and my mom were cool. My mom wasn't a necessary disciplinary. But, I mean, it wasn't like a hate relationship. It just I felt the difference in the treatment from me and my sister.
Example.
Okay, so like me and my sister had different textures of hair. My sister hair was always done. I would either have to go to Suzette. Hey, Suzette, that's Shawnee's aunt.
Okay.
Or my aunt Nina would come do my hair.
And who's Shawnee, by the way?
Shawnee Thomas. Shawnee Thomas.
Girl from around the way.
That's my girlfriend.
Okay. Okay.
We grew up since we was this high.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
So,
got it.
So I think that's what you just felt.
So y'all
the
had different
difference.
textures of hair.
Yeah, and I felt like she was always catered to more as far as appearance wise.
Okay.
Till this day, I think so. Not necessarily appearance wise, because we grown now, we take care of ourselves. But even to this day, there is a difference in treatment.
Okay. Got it. And what was your relationship like with your grandmother?
Oh, my grandma.
Is this Grandma Barbara?
No, this is Grandma Gloria.
Grandma Gloria.
Yeah,
Shout out to Grandma Gloria.
Grandma Gloria. That was my heart. That was my soul. Our relationship was really, strong. More so, I think, because I lived with her.
Okay.
And then she just left. Like, wasn't expected.
Okay. That took a toll on you.
Oh yeah.
Heavy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What were some of your experiences with her?
Oh.
In fact, you had mentioned when you first got pregnant, you didn't want her to know.
Yeah, I hid my pregnancy for, so I'm gonna say a long time. I didn't know how far along I was until my nosy aunt from Philly came over and was like, "You are huge," and we went to Holmes Lounge. If you from Camden, everybody know Holmes Lounge.
Right.
And we went there for crabs, and I was like, "Ooh, I can't stand the smell of liquor." And she said, "I bet you can." And then she took me to the doctor, and I was 7.5 months.
How old were you?
I was
18, 19?
senior in high school.
Oh, you were in high school?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So even during my senior pictures, no one knew I was pregnant.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Did you become a parent yourself? Oh, duh. Did you wind up only having the one child? I should have asked.
No,
Apologize.
then 3 years later, I don't know how it happened. I mean, I know I had sex, but yes, I had another one, Don Mir.
Okay.
So we got Jamal and Don Mir, which is Moose and Mir. So they're 3 years apart.
So essentially, you had three parents.
Oh.
Your dad, your mom, your grandma.
Mm-hmm.
You know how they raised you or didn't raise you because you were there.
Right.
What would you say are some similarities and differences between your parents' parenting styles and yours?
I think I'm more involved in my sons' lives.
How so?
Because I'm there. I was there when school, sports. I didn't have that. Like when I was in the band, my grandma did come record me one time in the bleachers. Ooh, like they had the big ass camera.
Right.
And it was like me and Shy and all them on the camera. So she did do that one time.
That footage probably still exists out there somewhere.
How if it's on VCR? I mean, I would have to have the tape.
If
right?
the tape still exists, then that footage still exists.
Right. Oh my God.
Right.
So my mom was never involved in school with me. Like she never came to parent teacher conferences. None of that stuff. Doesn't mean, I guess it's just she didn't. And my grandma only came to my conferences when I got suspended because I was suspended a lot because I fought a lot.
Okay. So you were more involved.
I'm more involved
You
with
were
my
more
children
involved.
when it came to school.
Do you, like now as an adult looking back, like being that you just said you fought a lot, Do you like know like subconsciously or consciously why you were fighting a lot?
I don't know, and I actually regret a lot of the fights I had.
Okay.
Because a lot of them were not necessarily necessary. It was like you could just say something, I will punch you in your face.
Right.
One girl, I ain't gonna say her name because we went to school with her, and I did apologize to her when we got older. I threw her in a trash can. Okay. And her eyes were yellow, but at the time, at my age, I didn't understand why they were yellow. Now I know that leukemia or kidney or liver failure. I didn't know that. So.
Okay. I didn't know that right now when you just told me. I just learned.
Yeah, so they get that jaundice look. It's more like a liver issue.
Okay.
And she was a track star.
Okay.
I do remember her running track. So I do regret it a lot of the fights. I mean, I even beat up somebody's mom because she brought her mom to the school. Your mom ain't got nothing to do with this.
right.
So I ended up like getting locked up for that.
Wow.
And all my lockups were basically just straight downtown. I never went to nobody's. What was it called? Lakeland.
Yeah, Jamesburg.
I didn't get that far.
Right. Okay.
So it was more like holding cell kind of thing. So I do regret a lot of the fights and.
You could have avoided like 75% of them. 50%. 50%.
50% I could have.
Half of them you could have avoided.
Yeah, I could have avoided.
Okay.
Yeah, but and then most of them was for my family. Like my family fighting, I'm fighting. My friends fighting, I'm fighting. A lot of people don't know. Me and Carol Benjamin.
Okay.
Yogi and Cool C used to be written all over Hatch. And we was the biggest fighters, and Mr. Gilliam would come over the intercom and be like, Yogi and Cool C, see y'all in the bathroom so y'all can scrape y'all names off. He'd be like, what? What?
People looking like, what?
Right, he would come, Yogi and Cool C. We'd be like, oh my God. Like back of the bleachers, Hatch had the balcony.
Right.
Our names would be on the chair. Mr. O'Gilliam.
Speaking of Mr. Gilliam, so I bet you don't remember all the schools you went to growing up.
Yes, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
All right, kindergarten, let's go.
Forest Hill.
So kindergarten, you went to Forest Hill.
Kindergarten first, I went to Forest Hill.
Where's Forest Hill?
Parkside.
In Parkside in Camden.
Yes.
Okay.
And then Kramer, second grade.
How did that happen? Kramer's in East Camden, right?
Yeah, because we lived on 29th and Royton, and then we got.
Where's that?
East Camden.
29th and Royton is East Camden?
That's behind Rocco's.
Okay. And Rocco's is what?
East Camden.
For somebody who doesn't know.
East Camden, Malm Pike.
But what is it?
Foods, Rocco's Steaks.
Okay.
Is it steaks?
So you go and get like cheesesteaks and stuff from Rocco's. It was a popular spot in East Camden. Right. Okay. You live behind Rocco's. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you moved. You were living?
My mom, yeah.
Okay, so your mom moved out East Camden.
Yeah, and then second grade, I remember one time I was walking in Kramer and I got attacked by 2 pit bulls and I had to run in some lady's house.
Okay.
Horrible.
Did that make you afraid of dogs?
Yup, I can't stand dogs.
To this day?
To this day.
Okay.
I do want one, but one that don't like grow.
Right, like a small one.
Nah, I wouldn't get a pit.
A Yorkie or something like that, Chihuahua. Got it.
And I remember it was a house right there. I ain't gonna say no names, but if you're from that area, I actually ran in that house and beat the daughters up, and I think the dad, I supposedly had a heart attack. Oh, it was so horrible.
From you running in the house from the dogs?
No.
Oh.
To fight.
Oh, okay, got it.
To fight. And I actually seen one of them at Buddha's funeral. And I walked up to her and I was like, I'm so sorry. Do you remember me? I just felt like I needed to apologize. Right. All right, so Kramer was second grade. And then back to Forest Hill.
For what?
3rd to 5th.
Okay. So how did that happen? Your mom only had the apartment or the house for 1 year?
You only need special transfers. My mom still lived there. I can go back to whatever school I wanted. You go down to the Board of Ed, and I'm going to use my grandma's address. Can't do that today.
Do you remember what happened? What did you tell your mom?
I just didn't like the school.
You didn't like Kramer?
Yeah.
Do you remember why?
No, probably just because it's Kramer. Like, who goes to Kramer? Like, why can't I go to McGraw?
Right. Okay.
So, and then 6th to 7th, Hatch.
So before we get to middle school, how would you if you remember, how would you describe your overall elementary school experience? Like, what was family life like? What was the neighborhoods like? What was school like? Like this is the early phases of your growing up.
Elementary school was pretty cool. Again, I fought a lot.
Okay.
Not necessarily, because it was actually, I fought the same person, Erica Hardy, which me and her are like this to this day. We got the same, both Sagittarius, but we used to play double dutch. She used to always get on my nerves, and we used to fight every day. So it wasn't like I would be fighting different people.
Right. It was people you knew.
Yeah.
For the most part. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
I was never in any school plays in elementary school. I remember always being in the office with Ms. Ricks, drunk so. So I used to always be in there with her. I think, was it Vice Principal Mr. Thomas? You didn't go there?
Me personally, no, I didn't go to Forest Hill. I went to Kramer, but I didn't go to Forest Hill.
You stayed at Kramer?
I left Kramer, and I went to McGraw when CHIPS program started.
See, you went to McGraw.
Because the CHIPS program was at McGraw. Like,
okay.
Right.
Yeah, I think my overall, again, and that was real territorial too. Parkside was Parkside, like the Parkside girls, you know. And I don't have no issues with Parkside girls. I'm friends with a lot of them.
Right.
So,
right.
But.
And you lived in Parkside.
Right.
But all your family was from downtown. So that was awkward for you.
Yeah, and I remember one time in middle school, before we got to Dola, he made me put my hand up and
Who's
walk
Dola?
Dola?
Where was he from?
Downtown.
Oh, he was from downtown,
yeah,
okay.
And he made me walk through the Parkside girls saying 6th Street.
You almost got killed.
So what was that? Boys and Girls Club. What was that? The church?
The Boys and Girls Club today. That
on
building.
Park Boulevard.
It was called St. Bart's. It was
so in front. Everything happened in front of St. Bart's.
In front of St. Bart's, right?
I don't know because the left was Bellevue or what. But,
right.
Yeah, they had.
Yeah, Bellevue was the main fighting block because that was the block you could cut down to fight, and it was all school grounds.
And I remember ended up fighting his baby mom Taisha because of that or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't remember her, right? Big Ty.
Yes.
We both had hickeys. I don't know from what. Because when I was hitting hard or what. It was just so much fighting.
A lot of fighting. Luckily for you, like nothing bad happened out of that.
No, but in East Camden, I got jumped a lot.
Okay, really?
By the same, we used to fight every day. It got to the point where nobody even watched our fights.
It's
I'm
like,
so
it's
serious.
them again.
Like, oh God, that's them again.
Right. All right, a lot of fighting. We get to middle school, and you went to
6th and 7th, and then
wait, you went to where?
Hatch Middle School,
Which is where?
Parkside.
So that's your kind of your home base neighborhood.
Right.
Okay. How was that experience?
Food fights and fighting.
Just all you remember is the fights. It was a lot of fights. Cooper V. Hatch Middle School in Parkside might as well be called Iraq Middle School.
Right. I don't remember doing anything spectacular. I mean, I remember I loved cooking class, but who didn't? The chocolate chip cookies. Everybody loved cooking class.
Right.
I don't think I did nothing else.
Okay. So you just went to school and that was it.
I just went to school.
6th and 7th grade. All right. So 8th grade sounded like you went somewhere else.
Yes, because a week before school ended, in 7th grade, my aunt pulled me out of Hatch, and I was so mad because I had so many fights lined up for like the last day of school, and she like pulled me out of school like a week before, and I'm like, "Are you crazy? Like I got stuff lined up. I'm supposed to meet this girl here. What are you doing?" And like she just messed.
She got you looking like a punk in the hood. Like,
Man,
oh, where's she at?
I remember one time. Do you remember E.B. the twins?
Yes.
Something happened with them when they died. I can't remember.
They got into a car accident.
Yeah, but something in class.
I personally didn't know them though.
Yeah. So something happened in class or something, and we always get ready to fight or something, and somebody called my aunt.
Okay.
And she came walking down the Hatch hallway with a belt around her neck to beat me in front of the class. Annie, Perez, and all them was all looking out the window. I said, "Listen here, I'm going to fight you back today because you're not about to beat me in front." And Mr. Gilliam, the nephew, the uncle, not the principal, the teacher, he like, no, you can't do that. I'm like, I will fuck her up here. She was not going to beat me in front of the whole Parkside.
Right.
So and then I ended up moving to Philly after that.
Okay, with her?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, wow. What did your mom? So your mom had no jurisdiction over this. Your aunt was like,
no, they wanted me gone. They were tired. They
tag teamed on you. Got it.
My grandma was like, she got cops pulling her talking about she got twin sisters. from fighting so much. So yeah,
And like we said, luckily nothing bad happened in any of those
yeah, like
fights.
I was never
you never
like
got
crazy
stabbed or
right. None of that stuff.
because that could have happened. That actually happened to Cool C.
Yeah,
Changed her life.
it did.
Right.
Yeah, it
Right.
did.
So they said we got to get her out of Camden, get her out of Parkside because stuff is starting to go left.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
that's, I mean, it was like every other. It wasn't. It was every other day.
Every other day. So you go to Southwest Philly.
Southwest Philly. I moved there, even though I was familiar there because I was always there when I was little.
Okay.
I ended up going to Tilden Middle School, which is still Southwest.
So did you do like the actual school week in Camden and then the weekend in Southwest?
No, what you mean?
Like growing up.
Well, yeah, I could do that, or holidays or stuff like that, or even when I was little.
Okay.
Before I even started school, I would be there all the time.
Got it.
So, you know, and I have her middle name, so it's not like her and my mom were close. I guess they're like first cousins. I don't understand that first, second cousin, third cousin stuff.
Right.
But they was close.
Okay, got it. So you're in Southwest.
Yeah, so then I ended up going to Tilden Middle School, which is still Southwest off of Elmwood Avenue.
Okay. Now, how was that experience? So you finished 8th grade at Tilden?
Yes.
Okay.
It was different. You know, Philly was always bougie. A lot different from Camden. Like the school buses, like SEPTA, food trucks. That's how school was. The let out. We had DJs on Friday, stuff like that. Yeah. So it was definitely different.
What would you say were the biggest differences between like Hatch and Tilden? In your opinion?
Fashion.
Okay. Who dressed better, the Camden kids or the Philly kids?
Philly.
The Philly. Okay.
I have to go with Philly on that one, even
Okay.
down to like the hair.
Right.
Because I remember being on a bus, SEPTA bus, and my ponytail was real long. And the high schooler was like, "Oh, her ponytail long as I was like, you want me to take it off and catch these hands?" She just looked at me like, "What the?"
Right.
Yeah, like I will fight you. Horrible.
Got it. So you graduate from Tilden?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I went on to 9th grade at Bartram Communications, Penrose, not Bartram's Maine. That's like our I don't even think we had one.
The main high school though, like.
Yeah, that Bartram is like our county jail. So it's like a lean on me or type thing over there.
Okay, got it.
Which is right next door to Tilden. They were connected.
So I interviewed a young lady who went to Bartram, and she was like, people think that everybody, like, it was all bad. She was like, not all of us. She was like, Bartram wasn't that bad. She was like, a principal only got shot one time.
Right. A principal got shot. I think a teacher got beat, like, with a bat or something not too long ago. So, like, we had that kind of stuff in Camden High.
Right.
So,
right.
I went to Bartram Communications, 9th grade.
Okay.
And then I graduated. When I graduated,
What is it? What is Bartram Communications?
So they have different Bartram. You got Bartram Communications, which focus on communication, public speaking, and all that stuff.
Really?
And then you got another Bartram that might be Bartram Tech,
Okay.
which focus on technology and all that stuff. You
Okay.
choose where you want to go.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And Bartram, Maine is just, you don't know what the fuck you want to do. You just want to go to school.
So what were you there? What were you there? What was your focus?
I think I was public speaking.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and I got beat in the bathroom there by my aunt. I think my first crush was there.
Okay.
Who ended up being my ex. He's my ex now.
Okay.
And then I left in 9th grade. I had to experience Camden High.
You had to.
I had to experience the castle. So I finished 9th grade and
Okay.
went to Camden High.
Did you graduate from Camden High?
Yes.
Okay.
98.
Okay, 1998. What was the experience ultimately better than Bartram?
Most definitely.
Okay, how so?
Friends, family, people I ain't seen in forever. Like, oh my God, Ayesha, Yogi,
Right,
Ayesha, back,
right.
or whatever. So yeah, definitely a different experience.
Everybody like Ayesha's back saying
Ayesha
your name
back.
wrong.
Oh my God, you back. You know, the ledge, the food trucks, fish and produce, best fried wings, and
Right.
French cheese fries, I think.
So you had fun in high school. You enjoyed your Camden High experience.
Yeah. I didn't fight as much in Camden High.
Why not? Why'd the fight stop? Because you got older,
I
you
got
calmed
older.
down?
I think me and Shy fought,
Right.
and we're close today. I don't remember any other fights.
Okay.
Oh, I did fight after I graduated. because my cousins was still there.
Oh, you was one of the cousins who came back.
And they called me. I'm like, okay. I mean, to the point where I think we got out the paddy wagon. I was like flipping the blade and spit the blade out. Even the cop was like, so what'd you go to school for? And I said, I left my keys. You left your keys? I said, after I graduated, I left my keys.
Wow.
And, my cousins called, so I went.
Did you work in high school?
Yes, I think I worked at the McDonald's on Route 38.
So that was your first ever job?
Yeah. And
Okay.
I think, now that I remember that, I think I ended up throwing ice at the manager. Me and my other cousins that worked there, some had, but I get smart. Me again. My grandmama like, I don't need this money.
Right.
So we start throwing ice.
Your first ever job, you got fired.
Yeah.
How long did you last?
I don't even know if I got fired. I think I quit.
Okay. How long did you last? Well, you probably quit before you got fired if you threw ice at him.
Right. I'm gonna give or take maybe the summer.
Okay.
It wasn't long.
Got it. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the worst ever and 10 being the best possible, how would you personally rate your childhood?
A 6.
Okay.
Thanks for the reminder.
What would say it again?
Thanks for the reminder.
What would made it like a 7 or 8 in your opinion? If what?
Guidance. I think there was discipline in certain areas of my, like Philly, I had discipline. When I was in Camden, it wasn't really too much discipline. I think as you get older and you get your own kids, and then you get older and you go through things like I didn't get, like knowledge of credit being important.
Right.
Saving, all that. I didn't get any of that. So I learned as I got older,
Okay. Now you also said, so you just said the discipline and the structure. That was like looking back, that was important to you. Kids don't know that they want it then, but you like subconsciously,
Right.
Kids love discipline and they need structure.
Yeah.
You also said you wish that you feel like your childhood would have been better. And tell me if this is still true. If you had a better relationship with your mother.
Yeah, definitely.
Agree.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a worst childhood day or time period that you would like to forever forget?
I forgot what I said.
Well, you said you told on your Uncle Kevin.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. I told on my Uncle Kevin.
Shout out to Uncle Kevin.
I told on my Uncle Kevin that I told his baby mom that the girlfriend was there.
How old were you? Had to be like what, 6, 7?
No, I probably was like 10.
10 years old?
I was a little older.
Okay. Wait, so what happened? You told what?
I told his baby mom, Nikki, that Lisa was there.
Ooh. Ooh.
So they were downstairs, and then he called me downstairs, and when I came down, he like smacked me so hard across the face. My face was whelped up and everything.
Okay.
And
I guess I shouldn't have gave a shout out to Uncle Kevin.
and then, my mom and my grandma, I thought my grandma was snapped.
Okay.
Which I was surprised that she didn't.
Okay.
There's no telling what he said neither. I wasn't there at that part.
Right.
But my mom didn't defend me. My grandma, no one did, and my mom never even been in a fight.
Okay.
Like in her life, she only
Right.
have a driver's license. So like,
You were the complete opposite of Right. Okay. That explains a lot. Maybe
Yeah,
that
like-
explains why y'all clashed. Another reason why y'all clashed, you two were opposites.
right. And
Okay.
then like that, you would have never been able to smack my son and do anything.
So the people you were expecting to defend you didn't.
Didn't.
And that was just a bad time.
That was like, and to this day, I'll be like, the fuck? Like,
Right.
because I would never happen with my kids. Ever.
And then a situation happened when you were at Kramer with a ladder?
Yeah, not the ladder.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
The ladder from the bunk beds. You could just be able to take the stick, I don't know, the actual step.
Right.
So, you able to pull them apart out the little holes.
Okay.
And then I think I got a beating for breaking a little girl headband, and I put my hands on my butt, to cover my ass.
Right.
And she hit me. She was hitting me with that, and my hands, like, swelled up.
So your mom?
My mom.
Okay.
Yeah, and they swelled up, and when I went to school, and they threatened to call DIFAS, and I remember it was raining. She like dragged me by my hand coming from Rockwell. Was like, I'm gonna fuck you up. Yeah, but I actually still got, these are kerosene heater marks from my Uncle Kevin chasing me. and I put my hand on the. Remember we had, I don't know, did you have a kerosene heater?
Yes, everybody did.
Yeah, okay.
You can still see those marks vividly.
Right, and I put my hand on there, and then his dumbass put butter on there.
So what do you put on a kerosene burn?
Not butter. Literally, butter was just rolling off. I'm like, what in the dumbness?
Right.
So, yeah.
Got it. All right, so let's flip it. Do you have a favorite childhood day or time period that you, if you could, you would go back to?
Did I say what it was?
Previously, you said any moment where everybody was alive.
Yeah, that would be the best. That'd be it, when everyone is alive. Grandmom, dad, grandpops, when everyone is alive.
Okay, got it. Why so? For you?
I think my life would be different if my grandma would have lived longer.
How so?
Because my grandmother was my motivation to not do what everybody else did. My grandmother used to say women repeat themselves. And you're going to have a baby young like your mom did, and you're going to do absolutely nothing. So I went to college, and then I went to Omega Institute. And then I had to find my way. And then I went back to college in 2014, and I graduated with my associates, and I graduated with another degree, cardiac sonography. So I've been in cardiology over 20 years. So
we skipped over some stuff. Let's slow it down 1 second. So your grandmom said women repeat themselves, meaning you repeat other women's past.
Right.
So your mom got pregnant young, so you're going to get pregnant young too.
Yeah.
Which you actually did. So
right.
she was right.
And that's why I hit it, because I could not.
Because you remember her saying that.
I could not be the disappointment.
Okay, got it.
So I will always live with that. Like my grandma, even when I was in school and on welfare, and we would go to the supermarket, and I'd be like, here, grandma, take my card for food stamps. She would cuss me out. Like, I don't want that. I'll sell them.
Right.
Only saying but a word. She would never take food stamps from me. As long as you're working and doing something to better yourself, like you said, use the system. And in New Jersey, you can use the system. Philadelphia, absolutely not.
So, by the way, how do you sell food stamps for somebody who does it?
So, if you got 300...
If you got 300 of food stamps...
You sell for $150.
For the actual money?
Yes.
Okay, got
it. So, Philly different. They'd be like, give me $450 for 300 food stamps.
Right.
But, yeah, that's how you sell them.
Okay.
So, that's literally what I would do, because
on an actual card, you can only buy certain stuff. If you have money, you can buy what you want.
Camden, we went to the corner store. We got every cereal we wanted on Wick, everything. You can do what you want.
Right, but you can't go and buy like a new car or something or something.
No.
Right, that's the point I'm making. Food. Exactly. It's strictly for food, so if you sell them for the money, then you can buy whatever you want with the money. Right. Got it.
So that's what it was. And then if you know welfare, they won't give you extra cash for every baby you have. You have to be off and work straight for 12 months. And I just knew it because she worked there. So, and then everybody that went to welfare and sat at her desk, she thought was my friend.
Okay. So you got pregnant. Mm-hmm. In fact, in high school you got pregnant. Mm-hmm. Do you have the baby in high school or after high school?
No, I actually had him September 1997. So I had you had to graduate. Oh,
you were a senior in high school with a kid. Mm-hmm. Ah, okay. So
and she put me out when I...
she put you out?
When I lied, because I lied about the adoption.
What adoption? You haven't mentioned that yet.
Yeah, I had lied about... I told her I was giving the baby up, and I was looking at houses and places, and I knew that I wasn't.
And she was okay with that?
Yeah, because she didn't want no baby in her house.
Okay.
She didn't care.
She probably I raised my kids.
And then when I had the baby, that's when, it was like...
So where'd you go?
Philly. 59th Springfield.
Okay, back to
So
home base number 2.
Right. So then I would have to... They made me take the train and bus back and forth with my baby to my grandmama's house to do homeschooling.
Okay, so you didn't go physically to school your senior year?
Yeah, I did. But for that first 6 weeks, I was doing homeschooling back and forth.
Okay.
And then at the time, it was either you're going to leave Camden High because your grandma don't want you there. And then eventually she said, you can come back here with that baby. Her exact words, you will finish high school. I don't care what else you do. But if you feel like you're ready to drop out, you're going to get out. Then Couple months passed, and then got to the point where she didn't want me home with the baby. Can't touch her baby now. It's her baby.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
she became attached.
Right. So then it got to the point where I would come home and she would say things like, "Oh, are you going back out?" "No, I'm coming home." She was like, "No, your son acts different when you're here." And I would leave. Like,
Wow.
and so it became, like, I was just spoiled.
Your grandma was raising your son.
Not necessarily my grandma was raising my son. I just had a lot of free time.
Got it.
Because if he wasn't with her, then the dad's mom would come and take the baby. And then I'd just be like...
So you had help. You had help that a lot of young girls don't have.
I definitely didn't have that struggle of the single...
I don't have a babysitter. I got to drop out of school.
I was free.
Right.
Or my sister had my son. Like, I got to the point where they thought that was her son.
Was his dad contributing?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
And then his dad was murdered, so...
Oh, sorry to hear that. Okay. So did your son get a chance to at least know him?
Oh, yeah, he knew him.
Okay.
I mean, he knew him as much as 2 years you can know him. And then he was stabbed in the heart by his girlfriend.
Wow.
So...
Wow. Life comes at you fast.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
No, and then...
So you finished high school. Oh, I'm sorry, did I cut you off?
No, go ahead.
You finished high school and you said you went to college. Where'd you go?
My first college, I went to Camden Community College.
Okay.
Downtown Camden.
Okay.
And then as going there...
Did you know what you wanted to major in?
Hell no.
Nah, so you were just
I knew I wanted to do something with the dead because my grandma used to call me morbid.
Okay.
I was morbid. I still am.
Okay.
So I couldn't go to mortician school because it was all the way in Trenton at the time.
Okay.
So I just ended up leaving college and went to Omega Institute for like multi-skilled tech, which is like a CNA who can draw blood.
Okay.
And I ended up working at Cooper.
What was Omega Institute, by the way?
I don't know.
It's kind of like a
little medical school over there on Route 70.
Okay.
You remember it?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
But for people watching, they're like, "What's Omega Institute?"
Yeah.
It was probably like a
Like a
They
little,
do specialized training and stuff.
There you go.
So
That's
you
the
can
term.
go there after.
Right.
But I think Omega, is it specifically just medical field type stuff? Yeah, no friends.
And it's
You went
crazy.
to class and
I got
left.
put out of there too.
You got put out?
They ended up taking me back.
Wait, so what happened with that?
I don't know. I feel like every time I'm in somewhere, something always happened. I don't know.
Okay.
Like, I do remember Archie Bunker died when I was there. I was like crying in class, and 9/11.
Okay. Oh, that happened when you were at Omega.
And remember Taisha Waters?
I don't personally.
You don't know?
Maybe
Taisha
I gotta
Waters?
see her face.
Yeah, she went to school with us, and her brother was like in the Army, so she started crying, and her mom came and picked us up, and I remember everything from 9/11, and I was nervous about my grandma because she was in a government building,
Right.
and it was like, oh,
So you were in class when it happened.
yes,
Okay. Interesting. At Omega Institute.
at Omega Institute, 9/11, never forget it.
So you got your certification from there?
I did.
Okay. And what was it in?
A multi-skilled technician, which is just like a patient care tech.
A glorified CNA.
Right, with
Right.
some little extra little stuff.
Okay.
And I
You
ended
weren't
up,
satisfied with that.
no.
Okay.
Well, no, and then I got cross-trained in the hospital for cardiology, which is like stress testing and all that good
So
stuff.
you were actually doing it. You got certified at Omega and you got a job in the hospital.
Oh, yeah, Cooper.
Were
Cooper was
you
my
working at
first-
Cooper Hospital in downtown Camden?
Yep, North 9.
Okay.
I'll never forget. And I used to always run to the helicopter when she'd be like, trauma alert, shock trauma, stat. I'd be like, what? I'll be right back to make sure nobody knew.
Right. Okay.
That, and then I got cross-trained in cardiology after that. And
Okay.
then
What is cardiology?
Anything dealing with the heart. So I was doing stress testing, EKGs, Holter monitors, and stuff like that. And I did that for a long time until I went back to school in 2014.
So let's stop. You did it for a long time. Why? Because you got comfortable or because you actually loved doing it?
I love the heart.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I love the heart as an organ.
Okay.
Yes.
So you were doing that? You were
Yes.
doing all the heart stuff?
Yes.
Like anything heart related, they call you?
Anything heart related that I was qualified to do, I was doing it.
Okay.
So then administrator.
So qualified to do. Was there anything that you wanted to do that you were unqualified to do?
Working the morgue.
Okay.
So I would be the one tagging the toes, cleaning the bodies on North 9.
Right.
Because I just was so excited. I
Okay.
don't know why.
Like we got another death. Yes.
Yeah, they would call me like, Ayesha, can you clean up my gel? Sure.
Right.
Text him like it was such a
You knew the hood news before everybody else.
Right.
Right.
And then I ended up working at Jefferson.
Okay.
And then eventually it was time to move up in cardiology. So I went back to school in 2014.
Right.
To CCP, which is Community College of Philadelphia.
Okay.
And I graduated with my associates. And then I got accepted into the cardiac sonography program at Washburn University. And then
Wait, what's cardiac stenography?
ultrasounds of the heart echo.
Okay.
And then
Why would somebody need one?
Why would somebody need one?
Like for a guy, when you heard the word ultrasound, you thinking it's
Well,
for a
ultrasound
pregnant
of the heart.
of the heart. Yeah.
Yes.
So why would you do one on somebody? Like
keep-
would
to
you
keep it
do
on the
one on
sim-
somebody perfectly healthy?
Yeah.
Oh, you do. Okay. So it's like when a doctor gets the stethoscope and listens to your heart.
Yeah, they can hear a murmur or something. They might want me to look at the murmur, or cancer patients or abnormal EKGs, things like that. We have to look at LV function, wall function of the heart, make sure it's pumping properly, and look for leakages and things of that nature.
So there's nobody who can tell you anything about the heart. You good?
I mean, I think so.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. And then I got accepted. Then my son was shot, so I had to withdraw from the program.
Why?
Because he was literally about to lose his leg.
Okay.
And he had over several surgeries, several blood transfusions, 75 staples. And you in that type of program, you got to be focused. It's not one of them programs where you could just be like, oh, I'm dealing with something now. Because if you don't have a C average the first semester, they throw you out. And you start all from over from the beginning.
So what was happening in your personal life, you couldn't focus on school.
Right. So they accepted me after we got all over. And then I graduated August 2018.
Congratulations.
I'm
Nice.
a cardiac sonographer.
Okay. Let's get back. Is there anything in your childhood that you feel that occurred that affected your life forever, either negatively or positively?
Did I answer that before?
If I look at the notes.
I like your little notebook. I just want to make sure I'm saying the same stuff.
You said overall, there were bad decisions and good decisions that you made that you feel like kind of affected you. And then you went to explain, like you wound up getting your associate's degree.
Right.
You wound up getting your cardiac stenography degree. You, like the things that happened in your childhood with all the fighting and all the trouble you were getting in, there was a point that clicked there where you said, I got to do something with myself.
Right.
Okay.
Right. There you go. Khalid. Wait. He answered that one. I couldn't remember.
What's your overall perception of how your childhood affected your life personally? Like, so who is the Ayesha of today? Who are you? Who's the person that you've become? And do you feel that all the things that happened growing up kind of molded you into who you are now?
No. I don't think my childhood molded me. I think my sons molded me.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the trauma of me losing my grandmother and all that happened after she left.
Right.
With the fighting with the family, Kevin, fighting with the family and all that changed me.
Okay. Into who? Who are you today?
I'm Ayesha. I'm not Ayesha. I'm Ayesha. My exterior the hard exterior is slowly falling apart because I'm a really sweet person.
Right.
But I feel like there's times in my life I have to be hard.
Okay.
And that I think with happiness that it just peels back as you go. You don't have to be so hard. Like I'm not.
Like all day, every day, just walking around tough.
Like you said, you thought I was a certain person.
A lot of people have the image of you from being a fighter in the hood when you're just a fun-loving.
Right.
I don't want to be fighting every day.
Right.
I'm a regular woman who needs to be loved and treated and hugged and squeezed like every other woman.
Like I wish that people didn't have that perception of me of the mean one. I am outspoken, and I will say at times that I probably don't take people's feelings into consideration when I say things or necessarily how I say things. So that I'm still learning because I can be like, what?
Right.
But so I think a lot of people fall back away from me because of that.
Okay.
But I'm like little sweet little yogi.
I hear that. In conclusion, give some advice to blank-year-old you If you could pick any younger version of Yogi, any younger version of Ayesha, with everything, the woman who you are today, everything you know now, if you could go back and talk to yourself, how old would she be and what would you tell her?
I don't remember what I said, so I think I said something like, I'll tell my 10-year-old self. What did I say?
That she is too beautiful to be out here fighting every day.
And then I think I told my 15-year-old self the same thing. You're too beautiful to be out here fighting and things of that nature. And then I think I told my 18-year-old self the same thing. No, I wasn't fighting at 18. But
You told your 18-year-old self, like previously, that to never give up.
right, there you go. Never give up. Don't.
Were there times that you wanted to quit and just say F everything? Did you
I
ever?
wouldn't say there was times I wanted to quit. There were times where I was put in a position to maybe quit, but I never did. I wouldn't say I was like, oh, I'm done with this.
Right,
I
right.
just worked hard.
So you had 2 sons, but nothing would stop you. You
Right.
wound up like doing a lot of the things that you wanted to do. You go on vacation a lot. You like to have
I
fun.
travel a lot.
You have girls' night.
I do.
Hey, and working hard allows you to play hard.
Right. And even when you ain't working like me, I still play.
I know that's right.
Like, I just feel like life is just, you have to stop and take time for you. And I learned that the hard way. Because you could kill yourself. Stress will kill you. It will make you look bad. It'll make you look old. You got to stop and do for you. I don't care if you got $20. There is a Groupon for $7.99 for dinner somewhere.
I know that's
You
right.
might not like it. And so I just do that. So I definitely just enjoy life.
Ayesha, we thank you for coming through.
Hopefully there's a part 2.
Hey, whenever you want to come back through, feel free.
Okay.